A friend of mine and who's also a brother of mine who always supports me in my music. All the people living for today. Imagine they.
Thank you so much, Badev. May I now invite our dignitaries.
Kashilong Press Club haringkat ka DIPR minta ka kanriw terek naiweng arja arpuwe kalara ke yakan National Press Day Hashilong Club akabau menteri ketenat patai kubor UGMSK Sangma ubalong ukongsan baduba Tita Star Welkan CM ka Khasi Hill Autonomous District Council ubadai rukum ukongsan paladan ringkaru dekakong mat siudor war nong brik sekretari DIPR bekakong Emperor Ningdo haringkat berkwi-kwi de.
National Press Day. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to be here to be invited as chief guest for this function, and really it gives me great pleasure to be here and to take part in this celebration along with all of you. Not many people know this, that I actually started my professional career as a journalist, not a correspondent like some of you, but I started off working in Z News. That was way back in the year 1997, and I was an editor for electronic media. And that's why being here today, standing on this dais and sharing this great celebration with all of you is so meaningful and special for me today. David, when he took over, the program and chairing this program, he's mentioned about, he apologized actually for the late start of this program. And I just wanted to set the record straight here that he should not take the blame for starting this program late. The blame fairly and squarely falls on me, because I actually anticipated wrongly that I will be late for this program, so I asked David to postpone this program by half an hour. So it's for that reason that this program started late, and I should be the one who should be apologizing for this. And the topic for today says, who's not afraid of the media? And I can tell you, that today after David has apologized, I'm very sure nobody is going to be afraid of the media from now on. Nobody. Anyway, I've always believed that truth should be unapologetic. And really, if one speaks the truth, you need not apologize. So I think that is the basic tenet and the foundation of journalism, of being in any part of media, that is print or electronic. And we should not apologize for speaking the truth. And that is what I feel that today, when we speak about the topic, who's not afraid of the media, well, it doesn't really end up with a question mark. So I'm a little confused about what the topic means. I was asking David about it, and it is very, very vague. So all the best to all the panelists. Really, you have a really good time and tough time trying to discuss this very, very vague and ambiguous topic. But in any case, I'm very sure that the kind of members in the panel, it is going to be a really great discussion. And I'm very sure that the outcome of this discussion is going to be helpful for all of us, especially me, in terms of the insights that it will offer. So I really look forward to the panel discussion, and I think that it's a very meaningful way of celebrating the National Press Day by having a theme and discussing that, especially that's something related to the media. Journalism is often called the art of storytelling. And today, what I wanted to share with you as IPR Minister, to all our friends in the media, in the press, is that this, in the context of us living in a post-truth era, is something that really we are all grappling and coming to terms with all of this. Not just for readers, not just for people who the media and the press reach out to through their stories, through their coverage, but also, but for everyone, that this is something that all of us are trying to grapple with. And this post-truth era is really something that as individuals, as political leaders, for us also, it's really something to show that truth does prevail, that journalism is objective and never subjective, that we should get rid of yellow journalism. That is one of the most dangerous things that could ever happen to democracy, because you are, well, unofficially, but we all believe that deep in our hearts, that you are the fourth pillar of democracy. And when we have an era wherein we're living in the post-truth era, really, the fourth pillar could, if it were not strong enough because of, being subjective and, yellow journalism, then democracy would crumble. So that is the kind of responsibility that each and every one of you bear, and you must always, I believe, have that. It's very easy, I know, being human beings, it's so easy to get swayed by emotions, to get swayed by just one side of the story, but that's how it should be. A story is it always has three sides. So it's always my side, it's your side, and the truth. So therefore, this is my appeal to our friends in the media, that we must, as we celebrate National Press Day, always keep in mind that even if we are living in the post-truth era, that truth must prevail. I want to take this opportunity here today because David has been repeatedly saying that there is no celebratory mood here, right? So when David asked, "Oh, did you enjoy the song of Lam?" and the response was like, "Yeah, that's it." It wasn't like, "Oh yeah, we're all so pumped up and we feel in such a great celebratory mood." That was lacking, right? So I thought maybe I should play a part in a little bit to liven up the mood and bring a little cheer and smile to your faces. So I've had a lot of discussions with my good friend David, your president of the Shillong Press Club, and he's been so supportive. He's been, I must say, as someone who is heading the Shillong Press Club, the kind of concerns that he has for the press community, it's really something that really touched my heart last time I was sitting with him. And we discussed many issues, right? And as a government, I must say this, that we have our shortcomings. We have sometimes our hands are tied. We can't really do the things that we would love to do. So despite all those handicaps, there are things which I believe that we can go ahead and do for the press fraternity and the community. And in my discussions with David, he mentioned about the pension plan. And this is something that has been doing the rounds for a very, very long time. And the pension plan is very important for each and every one of you. It's important, but despite that, I don't know why there is this lackadaisical, attitude towards, everyone, let's all get together and, move things, right? So the government has written back to the press fraternity community and asked for certain data that we require. That is, I think specifically the date of birth, if I'm not wrong. And that has not been very forthcoming, and people have taken their own sweet time to give and furnish that record and the information to us. So I would like to, yes, go ahead with this pension plan and roll it out. But we need that kind of support from you, and I would request each and every one of you to please, provide us this data so we can process it at the earliest and roll this out as early as possible. The second point that we discussed was regarding the Journalist Welfare Fund. And as of now, as we all know, for sicknesses or illnesses, the government provides under this welfare fund a sum of rupees 50,000, and for death it provides rupees 1 lakh. The proposal has been given to the government that we should enhance it by double. So any sickness or ailments that journalists face, that should be increased from 50,000 to 1 lakh, and for any kind of unfortunate death should be increased from 1 lakh to 2 lakh. I do want to say this, that I am in complete support of this, and I assure you that my support, completely I will be pursuing this matter, and I will definitely discuss this with Honorable Chief Minister today itself, and we will try to roll this out as soon as possible, dear friends. Thirdly, President on our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister on the 27th of May had mentioned about the role of the press fraternity community in terms of the role they played out during COVID time. And he very rightly said so that the press community have been selflessly working during the COVID time, and they should be recognized as frontline workers. He made that announcement, yet we have not been able to officially notify that. And I just wanted to say this to David, that yes, we will formally recognize the press community as frontline workers, because you guys have been working so selflessly. All of you have sacrificed so much during the COVID time. Without that kind of support, I'm very sure that all of us would have been worse off than we are right now. And really, a very big thank you goes to the press community for all the sacrifices they made, which goes to show that they were frontline workers who did not get that recognition, and I seek to rectify that. So yes, we will be coming up with that. And our Secretary and our Director of IPR had mentioned about the advertisement policy. I'm very happy that the government, and under the leadership of such a dynamic officer like Panmap, that we have been able to take this advertisement policy to a great extent, and it's complete, and now it's just a question of rolling it out. So this is a lot of work put in by Panmap and all the officers at the Directorate, and really a big thank you to all of them. I think that National Press Day would be incomplete without thanking the officers also at the DIPR for all the hard work that they've been putting in.
Now, this day, this body continues to efficiently guide its members to dispense their duties with efficiency, professionalism, and ethics, acting as a moral kind of watchdog to ensure that the journalists are not driven by any influence or external factors. Now, as the fourth pillar of democracy, needless to say, the existence of free press is fundamental for the growth and prosperity of the nation. People all over the world, from every strata of society, be it the head of states or the common man in the streets, we all rely on the press. We rely on the press for news, views, and happenings around the world. Public opinion is molded by what we see, it's molded by what we read, it's molded by what we hear. If we look at today's reporting, then it is very difficult to actually decipher the truth from the hype. Thus, the importance of responsible reporting cannot be emphasized upon enough. Now, the theme for today's celebration is Who's Not Afraid of the Media? We have an eminent panel, as I mentioned earlier, to take us through the deliberations, and I'm sure that different interpretations will emerge, which hopefully will give us perspective on how to navigate the tides of news reporting in this new age. The government understands the role of the press in every aspect, and in this line, and I'm sure my Honourable Minister will speak more on it, we are in the process of trying to find ways to streamline the system. We have the advertisement policy which is on the move and is reaching its final stages. And we hope that within a very short period of time this advertisement policy will be put in place. So that will benefit not only the print media but especially the electronic media. Christopher Dodd said, when the public's right to know is threatened and when the rights of free speech and free press are at risk, all of the other liberties we hold dear are in danger. That is the power of the press and that is something we cannot take lightly. Today, as we celebrate National Press Day, we express our gratitude to the press and to the work that all of you do. I wish the celebration a grand success. Thank you.
Ba Ming, Ba Marmanyang, and especially to our Honorable MLA, Kong Ambagin Lingdo, my dear friends, journalists, both from the print and electronic, and all the distinguished guests present in this occasion. I feel blessed to be among you on this special day, a day on which our democratic country celebrate with meaning and renewed faith, a National Press Day. When I received the invitation to be the guest of honor, I was elated. I ponder about what the word information means in today's modern context. I then came across the saying that information is power. Power is such a strong word, and we must pause to really think about it and define it. I believe that when there is power, there is responsibility. When there is responsibility, there is a need to provide credible and correct news about our country, about ourselves, and yes, especially our governments, so that citizens get a chance to know the truth. Responsibility and free speech are intertwined and inseparable from each other. Over the years, we have seen the media doing a commendable job to report, highlight, and disseminate information that has led to a more alert, informed, and better educated society. But the world will be a better place when we also have the responsibility to promote social harmony, national integration, and to remind people of their duty towards society. This is like the ripples on the surface of the water. One small drop will create a change, reaction, which will create a far bigger impact that we can ever imagine. Personally, I feel the media has the strongest medium to spread this. Therefore, I was right when I mentioned sometime before that you are a privileged lot, chosen and given that huge responsibility and honor indeed. Journalist and press member of this year's team of Who's Not Afraid of the Media, I would also like to share a few thoughts. The issue of media trust and its impact on people has always been of great importance. From democratic perspective, a key function of news media is to aid citizens in becoming informed. For the news media to fulfill this function, an important prerequisite is that they provide people with the right kind of information. Citizens, by and large, do not consume news to be trusted and to be confident rather than an enemy. There is a need for a assessment on research and credibility and reporting news accurately and fairly. Debating a bit, I am reminded of a presentation on how COVID-19 impacted our world. I remember sitting with my family and pondering on what COVID-19 was the early stage of its outset. I am thoroughly thankful to the media that despite the challenge, the dangers, they braved the disease and went on to carry the morals and duties of their job with utmost decency and commitment. It was truly such a commendable job, and today we look back and are thankful for all that work today. My sincere request is to also lay some emphasis on the need for following a healthy and greener lifestyle, as we believe in health being wealth. I do not want to give a longer speech, as I am also eagerly waiting to hear the wise words of our chief guest. So once again, before I conclude, I would like to reiterate to all the journalists here and media fraternity that despite different opinions, our duty is to empower people with fair and accurate reporting. I compliment the Press Council of India for its role in promoting responsible journalism in the country, and may it continue to grow to be the torchbearer of the free and responsible press. I wish you all a happy National Press Day. Thank you. Kubreshigor Mechila.